Aloha guys, welcome to the Live Surf Love YouTube channel with Sean Doherty, aka Polar. Um, let's first talk about the tutorial that we're going to do today. We're going to talk about surfboard or longboard surfboard rails today. But before we get into it, please make sure you guys subscribe to the YouTube channel. It takes 1 to 2 seconds. It's free, so just click that subscribe button. Turn on your notifications, comment on my videos, share it, and like it. Like thumbs up would be appreciated, guys. It's awesome seeing your guys' feedbacks, talking about it, talking surfing. I'll try to put on the descriptions of a question for you guys, like favorite beaches, favorite surfboards, favorite thing to do, favorite color, something, so we could interact. You know what I mean? It's always fun. But mostly it's going to be surf questions, surfboard, where you want to surf, where you like to surf. I mean, all over the world, there's surfing all over the world, whether you're shortboarder or longboarder. Me and my beautiful wifey are longboarders. So yeah, so just make sure you guys subscribe, comment, share, and like would be absolutely appreciated. So make sure you guys do that. All right. Aloha. There goes the moon. It's hard to see with the sun. Yeah. Yeah. Some people fall off gracefully, some people don't. It's super funny. Really. All right, guys, let's get into the tutorial about the rails, about the two types of different rails. I mean, you could get any kind of things, but there is two main ones, which is soft rails and hard rails. And I'm not talking about foam board rails, okay? We're talking about softer rails. And the rails, if you have a question, the rails is this part right here. So right out here is the rails, okay? So rails are right here. This is the top of the deck, the center, the bottom, right? So the rails are on this side. So actually, let me bring the camera a little bit closer so you guys can see. All right, guys. All right. So let's talk about the rails. So the rails, got a little close up. See the rails right here? So actually, let me put my phone case over there. So see the rails right here? So this is considered the rails, okay? So all right here, to the nose, to the opposite side, right? So this is a flat deck. The tail back there, excuse me, and then the bottom of the board, So here's the bottom. And there's multiple ways to do the bottom too. We have a concave. Looks like a big teardrop right there. So you could do that. We'll talk about that later on, whether you like it or not. So yeah, but today is all about rails, about hard and soft rails. So as you can see on this board, these are softer rails. They're not hard edges. It's not thin. It stays pretty fat throughout, rolly. So as you can see, it's kind of like a rolly rail. So a hard rail would be more of like a sharp edge. I'll try to show you that on my 9.6 pineapple board, because that one's more of a hard edge one. So yeah, so this one, my wifey's beautiful board, the 9.2, is a rolly soft rails, and my 10.0 is also a soft rail board, because I just like the rolly feel. The difference between hard rail and soft rails is going to be more stable. So more stable, slower, harder to turn it, but it's going to be more stable. Like when you, like, I'm a nose rider, me and my wifey are nose riders. So it's going to hold in a little bit better. It's going to be easier to nose ride, more classic feel to it. And with the hard rails, so like think of this as like a knife, right? Like this is rolly. So this is a 50-50 rail. So it's fat all the way around, and it stays like that all the way from the bottom to the top. It doesn't like if you see the hard rails, it'll kind of be flat right here, and they'll be like sharper, like kind of like a knife, but not that sharp. But so yeah, if you see that, that's rolly. But With the hard edge, you know, he is greater than I. With the hard edge, you're going to turn it faster. You're going to be able to maneuver it faster. You can do cutbacks faster. So with the hard rail, you're going to be able to, get back. You're going to have to turn, get into the pocket where you're not going to have that classic feel. I mean, you still ride them both single fins, or you could do 2+1 or thruster. Again, me and my wifey are big on single fins. So whether you have hard rails or soft rails, you could do single fin. Like my buddy Mike, his CJ Nelson Sprout 2.0 is hard rails, and he has an easier time turning the board, unlike my 10.0, because his board's a 10.0, my board's a 10.0. So his would be easier to turn. Mine's going to be the more classic feel. So kind of relaxed, mellow, kind of surfing, where I'm not going to be cutting it back, hitting the lip, coming back real hard. Mine's going to be more of a slower S turn, staying in the excuse me, staying in the pocket a little bit, and you know, and yeah, feeling super super classic. So either side, so like both sides are going to be the same. So it's not like you're going to have one soft rail on one side and one hard rail. So 50-50 soft rails. And again, no, it doesn't mean foam boards. Okay, like not like a foam board. Like, oh, well, does that mean it's a foam board? It's like no. They just call it a softer rail because it's not so sharp. It's just that's the name they gave it. But yeah, so the difference is soft rails are gonna be, tend to be slower, classic feel. Hard rails are gonna be the turning, sharper turns, the cutbacks, and you can still nose ride both of them. But this one you could get on the nose and hang a little bit better, where the other one you're going to have to be turning a little bit more because it's going to be a little bit more looser, a little bit more wiggly. So yeah, I have the fin in. So again, when I told you guys, if you have the fin in, do not step on the board. So I'm not going to step on the board today. But yeah, so yeah, it's going to be your preference of the rails that you want. Because the thing is some people might like to turn more, like my buddy Mike in Hawaii. He loves turning. He wants that cut back. He kind of wants a more performance kind of board, where me and my wife, we want more of the smoother, slower waves. Like this rail, let's talk about the waves with the rail. So this soft rail will definitely be better in mushier waves. So like if you have a hard rail, it's not going to work as well because it's mushy, it's slow, and you can't really turn it that quickly, because the wave is slow, it's mushy. Where okay, so the hard rail is going to be better for pitchier waves, faster waves, because you're going to have the more speed off of it, because the hard rails are more speed, so you're going to have a faster time. So you could still use soft rails in either surf. You could use hard rails in either surf. It's just know that if it's going to be a pitchier wave, the soft rail is going to definitely be harder to use because it's not as fast. It's not as responsive. So when you're trying to turn it quick, just know this is going to be slower. Okay. So the rails on the soft rails are going to be slower on pitchier days, mushy days. It's perfect. Absolutely works wonders. It also works wonders in pitchy days. It's just, again, you're not going to turn as fast. Hard rails, it's going to be really hard to go on a mushy day because it just wants to go fast. It wants speed. You know what I mean? If you look them up, the difference too, or watch this tutorial, you're going to see what I'm talking about with the hard rails of being quicker, being faster, being more elusive, on the wave, which they're both single fins, like I said. but the one's going to feel way different than the other on different waves. So on mushy waves, the hard rails is going to be tend to harder to ride. It's going to give you problems, and you know, it's just going to be harder. It's not going to go as fast and responsive. But you know, again, it's all preference. You know what I mean? I use personally, I use soft rails all the time, whether it's pitchier, whether it's slow or fast or mushy. I just love that feel. I love that classic feel. So there's no right or wrong. But yeah, again, it just depends on how you want it, what you feel comfortable with. I'm just giving you options. So if you do have multiple boards, like we have multiple boards, you know what I mean? And yeah, I just like showing you guys the rail. See how it's looped. But yeah, it's all dependent on fill. So I love the 50/50 soft rails, the classic fill. Like I said, my buddy Mike likes the hard rails. You know what I mean, it's just again fills. So I don't want you to just go out and be like, well, I just want soft rails because you say classic and more like beginners, intermediate, and it's just like no, pros use soft rails too. It's just that you know, it's just all fill. It's all fill. So you got to figure out what you want, and that's what makes it way better. You know what I mean? So yeah, because if you see the tail too, you see it kind of rolled, fat, chubby. You know what I mean? So it's like a roll instead of like a hard, sharp. You know, like I said, smooth at the bottom and then kind of sharp, like knifey. So this is rolled out all the way through. You know what I mean? So this is soft rails all the way through the board, even the nose of the board.
Aloha, guys.
So
Here's two clips of the Sprout 2.0 that my buddy Mike and Oahu let me borrow in Diamond Head. Here is hard rails. So this is a Sprout 2.0 by CJ Nelson. These are the hard rails because you can tell it's knifier, a little bit thinner, sharper edge, as you can see right here. Even the tail is sharper and thinner than the rolly. So yeah, that is a good example of a hard rail to a soft rail. So this is a hard rail or hybrid rail, longboard rail. So yeah. All right, guys, enjoy. And we're going to keep talking about soft rails and hard rails. Aloha.
yeah, I just want to give you guys a close up of the nose too. So see how it's like rounded, like even though it goes thinner, see how it's like, I don't know if you could tell, but it's more rounded. So same thing, like with the knife ear, hard rail board, it's going to be like flatter and it's not going to be as rolly. So like see how this is kind of rolly. The other one will be more sharper, just like a knife, you know what I mean? Just like I've been saying with the middle to the nose to the tail. So yeah, I hope this is informational for you guys to know when you guys choose your next longboard, when what rails you want, because it is like people don't realize a lot of surfers would use the rails more than you think. People just think, oh, well, what's the rails for? Like, it's just so you don't step off it, right? You want to stay in the middle. No, you gotta read the wave. If it's a right and you're trying to cut back, so like let's say you're doing a fade takeoff left and the wave's right, so you're going fading left and you come around right. Well, you want your footwork on that rail. So if you have a knife your board and you're on a mushy wave, just know that it's not going to work as responsive, you know what I mean, to that because it's a mushy wave. Now this will hold in better because it's rolly. So when you do that fade takeoff, you're fading left. So that means you're starting off, going right. You're going to use your rail. And since it's a mushy, rolly rail and a wave, you're going to be able to get up and get to the face, you know what I mean, and do your nose riding and stuff like that. Now, if it's a pitchier wave, you know, with the hard rails and you fade left, you're going to turn that thing real quick. You know what I mean? And this will be a little bit slower, so you have to do that big S turn. We call it S turn because it looks like an S. So you do an S turn, and you know what I mean? It's going to be a lot slower on that pitchy day. So your wave, you might lose it. You might not be in the right spot to nose ride. You might not be in the pocket. So yeah, again, just read the waves. Choose the board, what waves you have. In California, we mostly have mushy, slow waves for longboarders. So the 50/50 rolly rails is perfect for California. You know what I mean? Florida, um, South Carolina, where Mike's from, stuff like that. Up north might be different. You know what I mean? Hawaii might be different. So anywhere in the world, it's going to be different. So you choose a board that you're familiar with. Like the ways that we choose on the beaches we choose, me and my beautiful wifey, is slower, mushy waves like San Onofre, Doheny, Swamis. And Swamis, don't get me wrong, in the wintertime, in wintertime, it's a big swell. It's like the North Shore. It's a big swell. So I don't usually go there. Cardiff, they're all slower waves. So, you could get the rolly rails, rolly waves, rolly fit rails with rolly waves and have a great time all year round. So, yeah, just be wise on picking your board, picking the rails, and they are very important. So, all right, guys, thank you for watching this tutorial. I hope that rail longboards tutorial will help you choose your next board, or when you go buy a board off the rack, that it will definitely help you to know about soft rails, hard rails, um, just any little thing that can help you become a better surfer, to help you surf better and get to that next level, whether you're a beginner going to intermediate to going to expert, and so on and so on and so on, or just getting your technique better, 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 trying new boards. You know what I mean? Like if you're so used to soft rails, like, oh, I'm going to try a hard rail. Well, now this tutorial might help you about hard rails. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I hope you guys enjoy your day. It's Super Bowl Sunday this weekend if you're from the US or around the world, if you watch it or not. But yeah, all right, guys, thank you for watching. Mahalo. And make sure you guys support this channel by subscribing. Would be absolutely appreciated. Aloha. Laters.
so divine. We'll cherish these moments in the warm sunshine. Oh, the sun shines bright on the island's delight. With reggae beats, we dance through the night. Tropical fruits and the warm golden rays. In Jamaica, we celebrate these days. Yeah, these days. Yeah.